Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Sarah Newman, and I'm so happy you're joining me for this episode of Saturday with Sara. Today, I'm excited to show you this beautiful junk journal collection from our friends at Stamperia. It's all about coffee and chocolate, two of my favorite things. And today, I'm also going to be incorporating another favorite, Dazzle stickers. So let's take a closer look at what we'll be working with today, and we can start with our junk journal pack. Now, this collection is absolutely loaded with background papers, stickers, and die-cut punch-out elements, perfect for card making and other paper crafts. So as I'm flipping through, you can see these gorgeous double-sided pattern papers. Here's one of the sticker sheets, and these images will just peel right off of that backing piece. Now, as I'm showing you this, you'll notice you've got a huge variety of elements. You've got everything from larger focal pieces that can work on the front or the inside of a card. You have some words and sentiments. You've also got some borders and some smaller accent pieces in here too. Really nice variety. Here's another one of the sticker sheets. That chocolate does look delicious, doesn't it? Really pretty border down here at the bottom with the hearts as well. Now with our die-cut punch-out pieces, here's one of the sheets, and these images will just pop right out of that backing sheet. Now what's really nice about these, you'll notice again a nice variety of different sizes and different elements here. What's really nice about these is that they are double-sided, which means that this lady can be facing this way or she can be facing this way. So really does give you some nice options as you're designing. Here's another one of the die-cut sheets. So again, these will just pop right out. You've got some tags, some nice border elements in there too. Now you do have some pages that can be used as cutouts as well, like these 4 elements here, perfect for framing a collage perhaps. Again, some more backgrounds. This sheet could be used as a background, or you can cut apart those tiles and use them as borders or individually. So you're starting to see just how value-packed this collection is. Now here we've got some more stickers. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these. I love the pattern papers as well. Stamperia always does such a great job of creating beautiful, rich, and textured background elements. Beautiful tapestry on there. Again, some more of our die cuts. Now with the frames, these are nested, which means that you've got an outside frame, you've got some smaller elements, and they can be used together, of course, or separately. Now here we've got our sentiments, some words and phrases. You've got your words on one side, and because they're double-sided, you've got the reverse side where you can add your own sentiment if you wish. A beautiful background paper here as well. This is one of my favorites, and then we're coming to the back. Even the inside back cover of the collection can be used. Same thing with the inside front cover. In fact, that's one of my favorite designs in the collection. So there is a lot in here. All total, 8 double-sided pages of cardstock, 4 pages of stickers, and 4 double-sided pages of die-cut punch-outs. So that's with our junk journal collection. Now I mentioned I'm also incorporating some of these Dazzle stickers. So this is the We're Together Dazzle set, which is 2 sheets of black Dazzle message stickers with a variety of sentiments that just work beautifully with our paper collection. There are 117 sentiments on these 2 sheets, and you'll have lots of little hearts and floral accents in there as well. So as you can see, we have a lot of fabulous papers and embellishments to play with today. I'm really glad you're here, and I'm so excited to explore the possibilities with you. So come play with us. Let's start with this card, which is a combination of the pattern papers, cutouts, stickers, and die-cut elements, all coming together very easily to create a really nice layered card focal. So to start, I've covered the front of my card with pattern paper, and I want to show you the sheet that I'm working with. There is so much on this one sheet, so you're really spoiled for choice when you're deciding which area you want to have covering the front of your card. You have some foliage, you've got text on here, you've also got some imagery, and of course everything has this really beautiful collaged effect and kind of a faux distressing. So the area I chose is right up here at the top. I think you can see where this pattern would continue. So I've simply covered the front of my card with this pattern paper. Of course, I've got all the rest of this left over. And then I've inked around the outside edge, and I'm using the cocoa bean ink pad for this. You can see around the outside of my card as well as the outside of my frame cutout here. I've got some of that dark inking on there. And that's just to help create a little bit of additional definition around those edges. This is a really easy technique to do. And all you'll need to do, just take the lid off of that ink pad, and you'll notice that the ink pad is raised up off of the plastic base here. It's also quite easy to hold on to these ink pads because you've got this little dip around all four sides. And then all you do, simply run the ink pad along the edge of your paper or cardstock, and you've got a really nice bit of definition here. Now you can hold the ink pad perpendicular to your paper or cardstock, or you can angle it more toward the surface, and that will give you heavier inking. So whichever way you decide to go, it's a really easy process for creating some nice definition around the outside edges of your cards as well as some of your embellishments here. So then with the focal, I'm using one of the cutouts from the junk journal set. So I've just simply trimmed that out. Now you've got a nice open area in here, but you've also got some additional faux texture on here, a little bit of the brick peeking through, and of course that beautiful frame. So this is ready to be filled. And I've done a couple of things on here. I've got a couple of different layers. First of all, I've added one of the stickers right up along the top here, and I'm overlapping between the inside of the frame and the frame itself. So it does create some nice continuity there and helps to lead your eye through that design. And then we have our die cut image. So we have our lady here. Now, because these are double-sided, you could have her facing either direction. So it just depends on the way you want her to go. And I've added her with some foam tape to give a little bit of extra definition and dimension in there. Then I also have a sentiment down here at the bottom. This is also one of the die cut punch outs. So I've just popped that down below, again, overlapping a portion of our die cut figure. And then down here I've got another one of the stickers, but this has been popped up on foam tape as well. And so the little trick for doing this is simply adhere your sticker to a piece of scrap cardstock and then simply trim around the outside edge there. And that will give you your sticker made into something that is not sticky. And you'll notice that I've avoided the handle of the cup here because I figured that would just be a little too fiddly to try and cut that inside area there. So I've left that as is, and then after trimming around that, I can use foam tape to adhere it to the front of my card. So that's how I've built up my card focal, really simple and easy to do. And then for the card inside, I have a piece of brown cardstock. Now this is coming from the Window View collection. It's got a really nice kind of chocolate brown cardstock in there, and that's what I'm using throughout this webisode. So I have some right here on the inside of my card. I have this strip of patterned paper. I also did some inking along those two long layers here, and then going around the outside edge of this brown cardstock too, and then glued the whole thing right into the back of my card. I have the coordinating sticker image on here, again, overlapping between those two layers, and then the Love You Dazzle sentiment with a little heart image, also from the Dazzle sheet. Our next card is a cutaway design, which is a really fun way to combine patterned papers. So when the card is closed, it looks like this, and you'll see this beautiful light pattern paper around the side, top and bottom, and also this contrasting darker design. Well, you'll see more of that when I open up the card. And of course, you'll also see my sentiment, which is hidden when the card is closed. It's a really easy technique to do and a fun way to add a little something different to your card design. So all you'll do is simply trim off a portion from only the front panel of your folded card. And here I've trimmed off 2 inches. Now there's no magic to the 2 inches. You could trim off more or less, a lot depends on what you have that's going to be on the inside of your card, and also the size of your card focal and whether or not that will overlap from the rest of your portion of your front of your card. So after I've trimmed off my 2 inches from my card front, I covered it with this gorgeous pattern paper, and I've inked around the outside edge with the cocoa bean ink pad, and then I added this border strip. This is one of the die cut elements from the Junk Journal collection. My focal is one of the cutout spotlight images, again, like the one that we saw in our first card, and I just absolutely love these. I think they're so versatile. You've got this beautiful frame going around the outside edge, but then you also have some decorative elements here in the corners, top and bottom, and then also this nice open area here too, where you can add whatever you would like. Now, I decided to add in a sticker, and I thought it would be fun to use an element that is larger than the open portion of my die cut, just to see what that would look like. So let's fit this in, smooth this down, and you'll notice that this integrates so beautifully with the rest of the decorative elements on our cutout. So from this top element here, and then the beautiful bottom flourishes as well. And then from here, I've simply overlapped with one of the die cut elements. Now you could use this one. There's also another one that I thought would be a lot of fun too, and that just goes overlapping, should you decide. Super simple to do and a really fun way to create a nice layered focal. Now, because the die cut and the paper are double-sided, I also have a nice bit of color and pattern when the card is opened. And then on the other side, we have, of course, another look at that gorgeous paper. I've got my sticker images here and then the Missing You Dazzle to finish it off. You can also add color and texture to the pattern papers in the Junk Journal collection. So the background paper that I'm using here for the front of my card is this sheet. And you'll notice it already has a lot of gorgeous scuffing and distressing, lots of nice tones in here between the dark chocolate brown and the lighter, and then even some white area here around the outside edges. And I thought it would be really fun to enhance that vintage look with some white spattering using a snow marker. Now what's nice about this is that it works beautifully with the background papers, and when that snow marker is dry, you can also feel the texture when you touch this too. Super simple process to do. I'm working onto my craft mat. This is going to protect my work surface, so it's important to have one of those on hand. And for this demo, I'll do this on a piece of that brown cardstock from the Window View cardstock pack. Now you do want to shake your snow marker before you start using it. Make sure that that's all really mixed and ready to go. Then using my craft mat as my palette, I'm just going to dab out a little bit of that snow marker. Now from here, I'm going to use my water brush. You can also use a paintbrush for this, and dip this into that puddle of snow marker. So I've got that snow marker on the tip of my brush. Holding my brush perpendicular to my cardstock, I'm just going to tap this. And you can see my beautiful spattering of white on here. Now you can keep the cardstock and the water brush in the same direction, or you can turn this around and get that spattering going in the opposite direction as well. Then once you're done, all you need to do is just clean up that snow marker from your craft mat and also rinse off your brush. Let this dry and you're ready to go. So again, once that's all dry, you can add this to the front of your card. And in this case here, I've also added in some additional elements. So I've glued the pattern paper to the card front. I inked the edges with that cocoa bean, and then I added the border sticker and a collage of die cuts and stickers, some of which are popped up on foam tape. And then I've got the dazzles going above and below that border. Then for the card inside, I've got some more cardstock splattered with snow marker, plus pattern paper. I have another sticker and another dazzle overlapping. Our final card is a triple box card design, and this is a really cool design made of 3 boxes secured together. It looks great when it's standing up on display, and the card can fold to the side flat, so you can also mail it really easily. And when it's flat, it measures 6¼ inches going this way by 4 inches going this way. And super simple to do as well. So let's take a look at the die that I'm working with. Here you can see you've got 1 metal piece included in here. On the front of the storage folder, you've got a project inspiration. When I flip this over, you'll have another look at that project idea. You also have your written instructions as well as your diagram for assembly. Now where you notice the red on here, this is where we suggest you use extra sticky tape, not only for folding up each of the boxes, but also for securing the boxes to one another. So this is a good thing to have on hand. Another good thing to have on hand is your bone folder. So the die itself is going to give you, of course, your outside edge here, as well as your score lines in here too. So when you die cut your piece from your cardstock or patterned paper, all you need to do is follow along those score lines and fold. And this is where that bone folder will really help you get some nice crisp edges. So you'll come along here, fold up all of those edges, and then you're going to have on each side a little tab. So you've got a wide tab over here and a narrow tab over on this side. Grab your extra sticky tape and secure the 2 of these together so that you form a box. And that box, once it's all secured together, will look like this. And you'll do this 2 more times, so you have a total of 3 boxes. And then get that extra sticky tape again and apply 1 strip of it along one side of one of your boxes, and then you'll simply build like so. It is super easy to do, and I think it gives you a really fun and very different design. I love this one. Now I've die cut each of my boxes from different pattern papers. I'll flip this over so you can see what it looks like on the other side. I've inked around the outside edges with that cocoa bean ink pad too. And then for the front of each of my boxes, I've simply decorated using some of the ephemera and die cuts from the Junk Journal collection. And I've done lots of layering with our foam tape. On this tag here, I've added some jute twine. This is from, of course, our jute twine pack. And this will give a little touch of softness. It doesn't add too much bulk or weight to the card. My stickers are popped up with some foam tape as well. Again, gives a little bit of additional dimension. Super fun card to do, and also a really nice way to create something a little bit different for your card creating. So this is our final project of the day today. A big thank you to our friends at Stamperia for this absolutely gorgeous collection. And a big thank you to you for joining me today. We're really glad you're here, and we're so happy you're a part of the Paper Wishes family. Do feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you think. Each item can be purchased separately, and you can see them below. However, we've also bundled them into a creative money saver just for you. For the money saver, just see this webisode on paperwishes.com. And if you're watching us on YouTube, have a look in the description box below this video. You'll find a link that will take you to our Paper Wishes webisodes page, and you can see everything I just mentioned. And if you enjoyed our video today, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It helps people to find our channel. And don't forget to subscribe. We create 6 videos each week, so there's always something fun to inspire your creative spirit.